Hey Blender kids, I want to make this quick video to look deeply into the process of using reference images and inspiration to arrive at your own designs. So right now the task at hand is to create a robot, and imagine that we take Star Wars robots or droids as a reference, and say I like these designs and I want to be inspired by these designs. So the process I would use is I would begin to reference, I would begin to download as many reference images that would give me a clear picture of the different droids that are available. So I just searched on Google Star Wars droids, and here I have found these images. So this one is pretty cool. I like the R2D2 design, and so here's the R2 series of robots. So you can see there are a whole bunch of them, and they're in the same family and the same kind of design, where you have a cylindrical body and then you have these arms and the wheel underneath. And here is a solo image of R2D2, which gives a lot more detail, and you can see how it, you can see the shapes and you can see its design. Now on closer inspection, right, and this is the process that I want you to take whenever you have references, no matter what kind of reference you have, you begin to analyze it more closely. So here I'm going to just draw over this. And so just viewing something does not mean you're analyzing it. I would strongly recommend to draw over or draw looking at, right? So when you're drawing the shapes, it becomes a lot more clear as to, you begin to analyze it more closely. So here I am just going to add a drawing on top, and we're going to get in draw mode, and I'm going to change the color to red here so that I can draw. Of course, you would be drawing on your paper, right? I'm drawing here in Blender just for presentation's purpose, right? So here you can see that this body is a cylinder, right? And then there's a half sphere on top, all right? It's a cylinder, and then of course you have this kind of a shape on the side for the arm. Now on closer analysis, you can see why you can begin to ask a question: why is there this arm to begin with? Because he can't really pick up anything, it doesn't work like a hand. And so the reason, when you look at this, you can see the reason why there is this arm is so that this the body can tilt this way, right? And that seems to be the only reason why there is an arm, so that the body can tilt. Now when I actually found this image with a human reference, I began to realize why they want the tilt, because the designers specifically designed these robots to have this arm so that the body can tilt upwards. And so because most of these robots are shown with human figures that are taller than them, in the camera it looks a lot better when the robot can tilt upwards, right, and face the camera more clearly. So that seems like a design feature in the robot. And here you can see BB-8, which is just circular, and here also with a circular body, the head can just turn in any direction and it can tilt upwards. So very cleverly, the Star Wars designers have designed their robots to have this tilting kind of feature. Now to take this further, what I've done is I've gone ahead and copied these designs. So here you can see, so this is the first step. This is actually the second step. After referencing and analyzing, then you begin to copy the shapes and simplify the shapes. And this stage allows you to further look at the shapes and the design more closely and analyze it, right? So copying is the first stage. So here we are seeing it, we are breaking it, and now we are building it, right? And as we build it, so while I was doing these drawings, and especially this particular drawing, I did it from here, from one of these guys, right? This guy. When I did this drawing, I realized that this guy actually looks like a vacuum cleaner, right? And so then when I thought of that, I began to see all of them actually look like a vacuum cleaner with an arm. And so then I began to look at some vacuum cleaners. So here I have a vacuum cleaner image that I just downloaded from YouTube. And this gave me some more ideas. Oh, here the wheels are set up this way. And then I downloaded some more vacuum cleaners, and so I found some more unique shapes. So here we have this kind of a vacuum cleaner, and here we have this kind of a vacuum cleaner. So here you can see we have a wheel and we have this tilt as well, right? So with this wheel, he's actually tilted. Instead of having an arm, we have this wheel that tilts it. and now I begin to mix, match, and shapes. So I'm making connections between two completely different things, but you can see the connection, the visual connection. And so I started to develop this, and here we are. So here I have, first I drew the vacuum cleaner, and I added some antennas and some kind of things and made it a robot. And then I tried to take this design of this Dyson vacuum cleaner. You see the wheel and the cylinder, and I tried to draw it in the side view, front view, and then I drew it. So now I'm exploring. See, I'm exploring it. I'm added eyes, right? And so we have the cylinder. We've kind of maintained the cylinder from R2D2. We've maintained the tilting, right? And we changed the mode of tilting by adding a wheel, right? And then I also looked at this guy, and I added my own twist to it. And so here we have, let me turn that on. There you go. So I drew a front and side view, and so here we have like it looks like this, but it's a unique design. So here we have my third design of a robot. So this is the process that I am pointing to when I'm saying, use references and mix and match shapes. So it begins by downloading references, looking at references on Pinterest, and then analyzing them, that is seeing them, breaking them, and then you start building them, right? Simplifying them and building them. And while building them, a whole lot of things begin to appear to you, right? You'll begin to make more connections. And like that, I made this vacuum cleaner connection. Then I got more references. Then I used those references to mix and match shapes and then come up with my own unique twist to the design, right? So this is what this is the process of designing. And all of this you're going to be doing on piece of paper, right, before you actually get into Blender. So go ahead and try to emulate this design process, right? And I promise you, you will arrive at something unique, and you'll arrive, at the start of this process, you may not know what you're actually doing, but as you go through the process, you will eventually arrive at something that you are surprised with, right? So go ahead and have some fun. This process is intended to be playful exploration. It's a time to have real fun and not worry about how your final product is going to look. It's just playful exploration. So go ahead and do a whole lot of exploration. Have fun.